Hey everybody, welcome back to Logo Rankings. My name is Hayden, and with the Premier League starting in a few days, I thought you guys would be interested, or maybe it's just that I'm interested in doing this, but here is how I think the Premier League table will finish up. Alright, in last place, finishing the season in 20th place, I have Luton Town. The greatest story from last season, but I'm not sure they have what it takes to stay up. I hope that they prove me wrong, but they had the key incomings of Giles for 5.85, Chong for 4.7, Anderson for 3.5, and Kamba for 2.9. Which means their balance is a negative 16.95 million euros. I don't know if they have anything left to make any money left to make any moves. Therefore, I have them finishing in last place and being sent straight back to the championship.
2-2! Brennan Johnson gets his second!
And in 19th place, just ahead of Luton Town, I have Nottingham Forest. They finished 16th last year. They added Alonga for 17.5 and Wood for 17, while losing Surridge for 5.8. So their balance is a negative 28.7 million. But after a lackluster season last year, I'm not sure it's looking good for them. This will be the sophomore slump. I'm not feeling like they've made proper moves to kind of solidify that spot to stay in the Premier League. So 17th or 9th. And rounding out the bottom three for the Premier League season, I have Everton continuing to slide after last year, adding Denjama and Ashley Young on a free, but letting Keane, Sims, and Nkunku, not that Nkunku, go. They do have a positive balance of 34.8 million euros, but I would like to see them make some more signings. I don't know if they will, but I see them continuing that slide and actually getting relegated this time, unfortunately.
Terrifically, Emerson will only have seen it late.
The first team I have securing their spot in next year's Premier League is Sheffield United. All right, so they got second in the championship last year. They didn't have anybody leaving. They didn't sell anybody. They signed Traore for 4.6 and Slimani for 2.7. I like this. They have Premier League experience within the last few years, and I think it'll be a little bit of a rough year, but I think they'll stick around just long enough to, secure a spot and at least a second season in a row.
Can he go on the outside? Comes inside. Top of shot. Oh, the goal!
And the last of the newly promoted teams, Burnley, also with plenty of Premier League experience, also spending a lot of money to try and stay in this Premier League. They got Amdouni, Trafford, Bayer, O'Shea, Obafemi, Colasho, and they only lost Thomas, so they're at negative 63.4 million euros spent in this transfer window. And I see it paying off for them, but only good enough to get them to 16th. Not quite as good as they were a few years ago in the Premier League when they were getting close to 10, but they'll be in there for another season. 15th place finish last season, another 15th place finish this season. They didn't lose anybody, Bournemouth didn't, but they did sign Traore, Kirkez, Fayer, and Kluivert. I could easily see them, taking it, moving up the table a little bit, but I think the competition is just too stiff. I see them finishing 15th yet again, but hey, you still get a lot of money and you still stay in the Premier League, so 15th ain't that bad. Alright, the first team I have falling in the table, just one spot. They finished 13th last year, but I have them finishing 14th. They lost a lot of production from Neves, Collins, Cody, Jimenez, Giles, and Kawabe. They did kind of recuperate it with Cunha from Atletico Madrid and Traore and Doherty for free. but I see them slipping just a little bit. Neves, big time player, so maybe they can reinvest it. They still have a lot of money they've made just in this transfer window, so maybe there's still time for them to reinvest, find somebody, you know, maybe get them up the table a little bit. All right, Brentford, they finished 9th last season, but I have them going 13th this year. They have spent the money. They've bought Collins, Schad, and Flecken, while only losing Bidstrup and Dirish Lugu. As of the time of recording, there is talk about them losing Raya, which doesn't help. So, I mean, that'll bring their balance closer to 0. But I'm not sure they have what it takes to put money back into the team. I don't see them being relegated in their second season up there, but I do see, you know, a little bit of a fall off, but they'll be in here in 2024. So,
towing his way towards the Leicester penalty area and going for...
After a 10th place finish last season, I see Fulham dropping down to 12th. Not that big of a drop, but they did make a couple signings, Bassi and Jimenez, that I think will help them out a little bit. I don't know if they have what it takes to continue to reinvest. They haven't lost anybody this season, so that's good. Their defense should still be all majorly intact. But I do see a little bit of a drop-off, or it could just be like based off the competition. Either way, 12th place.
Play well, the rest will come.
Wilfried Zaha! That is...
It's very fitting that the video I chose to put in here is of Zaha, who is the only player of note that they lost on a free. They didn't sign anybody. They haven't signed anybody for money. They finished 11th last year. I think they can hold on to 11th this year, but losing Zaha on a free, I know it was towards he's getting a little bit older, right? But that hurts a little bit. So almost no jump, no fall. I'll just leave them there at 11.
Oh, looking to release Bowen. Flag stays down. Bowen's through. One-on-one, hits the shot and finds the back of the net. And the offside flag stays down.
West Ham beginning the top half of the table. They had no new signings, which might be a little bit of a problem, but the good news is they have a lot of money to spend trying to get up from 14th. They sold Rice for 116.6. This is euros, remember, not pounds. And Masuoku for 2, so they got 118.6 million euros just in this transfer window to use. So I'm seeing a little bit of a late push on the transfer market, get them up to 10th.
Lipe slips Sterling!
We have a big jump here, and they finished 12th last year. I got them finishing 9th, still outside of the European spots, but I feel like they had a lot of problems to fix. They signed Nkunku from RB Leipzig. He is an amazing player. They also signed Jackson and Angelo. All right, so they spent a decent amount of money, but the good news is that they sold Havertz, Mendy, Mount, Kovacic, Koulibaly, Mendy, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, oh my goodness, I can't talk today, and Ampadu. So they're still in the positive 141.9 million euros, and they will buy somebody else. They'll sign more people before the season starts or right at the beginning of the season. So they'll get back up into the top half of the table.
And moments after rattling the frame of the goal, Aston Villa have the lead, and Watkins has his little bit of Villa history.
All right, Aston Villa finished 7th last year. I have them dropping 1 place down to 8th because I have European football to contend with. But they did sign Diaby and Torres, an amazing addition. I'm really glad that he ended up going to Aston Villa instead of the Saudi Pro League. And they lost from the Kamba to Luton Town, but I think European football, I mean, they finished the season really on a high. I wouldn't be surprised if they continue the season on a high, but I don't think they are be getting European football through the Premier League next season.
Pitch, Son. Wakala shots! What a way to score his 100th Premier League goal!
And going in the opposite direction, actually switching with Aston Villa, we have Tottenham Hotspur. They finished 8th last year. I think they're going to be back in Europe this year. They signed Madison Porro, Kulusevski, and Vicario, only losing Winks. So good reinvestment. of any money that they had. So yeah, I see them getting back into Europe, but only in the Conference League.
Again, working his way forward, and Ciso forces it to Gross. Gross! Oh, what a goal from Pascal!
High Flyers last year, I have them finishing 6th yet again. They lost McAllister and Kadra, but they signed Pedro Verbruggen, Igor Mezzalou, and then they got Dahoud and Milner on a free. So there will be a strong team yet again. That is saying that they, for the rest of this transfer window, they can hold on to their big players. But I think that if they hold on to a couple of their big name players that people like all these super clubs are after, I see them competing yet again, even with European football this season. I can see it.
Says play on. Rashford into the penalty area. Moves it on to Anthony. Anthony with a chance. Manchester United take the lead. And Anthony, on debut, gives Manchester United a 1.
After finishing 3rd last season, I have them dropping down to 5th. They did sign Mount and Onana, so they got themselves a new goalkeeper coming in, who is a really good goalkeeper, by the way. But they did lose Alonga, Tellez, Iqbal, and De Gea left on a free. As if money was a problem for them. They're in the negative 91.2 million right now, but that's not that big a deal. I could see them getting as high as possibly 3rd, but I have them as 5th.
They've got the numbers. Nunez, 3 waiting for the ball across. What a counter from Liverpool. What a counter. Mo Salah.
Alright, and finishing in 4th, first team in the Champions League for 2024, we have Liverpool. They signed Szoboszlai, McAllister, so pretty good signings there, a lot of money spent. Lost Fabinho, Henderson, Milner, Keita, and Firmino. So there's a little bit of work to be done, losing people like Henderson, Milner, and Fabinho even. Like they have a lot of spots to fill, but the way they ended last season and the caliber of players they've signed so far, I could see them making a couple more signings, big time signings, before this transfer window is up. So 4th place for me.
Isak down the left wing as they look to get a 4th. Newcastle into the corner. He's taking on 2. Oh, he's beaten them. It's wonderful skill from Isak. What a run, Alexander Isak! It's going to go in! It's Jacob Murphy! Murphy has scored!
After finishing 4th last season, I see them making a little bit of a jump into 3rd place. Signed Tonali, Barnes, and Minta. Lost Alan St. Maximin, which kind of hurts. Wood and Darlow. So they're at negative 71.4 million euros, but their ownership group doesn't care. I see them maybe making a couple more signs before this window is up, but they're a good team. They'll continue on from last season, get themselves up into 3rd, and qualify for the Champions League for another season on the trot.
It's inevitable, I guess, that one day we'd have an all-Manchester final. Last time these two met here in the competition. City have scored already! The ball into the box! And Ilkay Gundogan tucks it in!
This is the spicy part of the the video, where I say that Manchester City will be finishing 2nd. And if you know your Premier League, you know who is going to be finishing 1st. They only made one signing, Kovacic, who's a valuable midfield piece. They lost Mahrez and Herrera. They have plenty of money. It would not surprise me if they're a little bit lagging in January. They'll make more signings, you know. So, but I think that they are going to finish 2nd this year.
Cleared only as far as Nelson has to get his shot right.
And ladies and gentlemen, your 2023-2024 Premier League champions, Arsenal. All right, everybody knows they signed Rice. And they also got Timber and Havertz, right? And let Xhaka and Mari go. They're going to have to make some more changes or let some more players go. It wouldn't surprise me if Nico Pepe was to leave the club. There was rumors of him terminating his contract mutually, which kind of sucks. I wish we could just sell him, but after what he did at the Arsenal, it's not surprising that they're not going to be able to get it from any money from him or for him. But it is what it is. After finishing second, leading most of the year last year, I think Arsenal's going to bring it over the line this season. It would be interesting to see how they do in the Champions League for the first time in, what, eight seasons or something like that. But yeah, I see them winning the Premier League this upcoming season. Thank you guys for sticking around. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be having 4 more of these for the rest of the top 5 leagues in Europe coming out in due time, so be on the lookout for those. Share this video with a friend. Feel free to tell me what I got wrong in the comments. Just tell me how much of an idiot I am for not having Manchester United in the top 4. It's up to you. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you guys in the next video.